Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Mustache MMA. Welcome to episode 12 of The Breakdown, UFC Fight Night, Luque versus Muhammad. We're going to go through each of these bouts on this card and break down each of the fighters, kind of go through their strengths and weaknesses, and make an official prediction of who's going to win that bout. It's worth noting that none of these predictions are based off odds or not betting related whatsoever. If you are looking for any betting related material, I do have two other videos that will come out later in the week for this card that are based on betting. One on straight bets, the other on parlays. So check those out if you're interested in that. Before I get into this card, I do want to share the results of last week. And at least the overall stats here. So the breakdown stats here we have, overall I'm hitting at 69% for the year. And then last card, you can see I went 9-3, so pretty decent start to the month of April there. You can actually see here based on the specific picks of pick'ems, favorites, and dogs, the percentages that I'm hitting on those as well. So in April, went 7-1 with the favorites, 2-2 with the dogs, and no pick'ems in April so far. So pretty cool to break it down that way, and then you can see all the percentages here. Yeah, definitely worth noting that all these odds are based on the best line at closing between all the sports books. So if you go on best fight odds, you can get all the previous best closing odds for pretty much any card that you want. And then we can go into actually the specific bets as well. I brought those up here. So Julio Arce was a win. Kay Hansen was a loss. It's probably the last time I'll be picking Kay Hansen. I also put money on her as well. Big mistake. Anthony Hernandez was a win. Oleinik was a win. Malat was a win. Pennington will win. Gary a win. Madsen a win. Tisha Torres was a loss, but a little bit of a robbery in my opinion. Khamzat Chimaev was a win. Peter Yan was a loss, and Volkanovski was a win. Peter Yan, definitely a close fight. I wouldn't call it a robbery. I still scored it for Yan, but it was really close. If you rewatch that first round, which is what it came down to, could have gone either way. But yeah, so those were the results from last week's card. Let's go ahead and get into this card and start breaking it down. UFC Fight Night, Luque versus Muhammad 2. First fight on the card, we got Heili Alateng versus Kevin Croom. So Heili Alateng, decent wrestling overall, decent takedown defense, decent takedowns in general. He doesn't show, great success with either of those, but they are decent enough to obviously get him in the UFC. And, he does have a little bit of that China favoritism, if you will. From a business perspective, China is a big market. The UFC wants to hit that. What better way to hit that market than get some Chinese fighters on there? But nevertheless, also going back into him, Alateng, kind of throws really low volume, poor striking accuracy. He's got solid striking defense, though, but he is definitely hittable if the volume's put on him. Super durable and tough, though. He can take some real big shots and just kind of eat him. Grappling, I haven't really seen much of his grappling, to be honest. I don't think it's anything too special or too great. I think most people will be able to handle it if he has anything at all. Kevin Croom, on the other hand, super high pace, high pressure guy, literally puts like every ounce of energy he has into every single second of the fight. Relentless with takedowns, a little bit of a questionable chin, but he is tough and durable. He can get rocked, but get back in there and recover. Always moving forward, like I said, high volume. Takedown defense isn't too great, to be honest. He can get taken down pretty easily. Takedown's not great either, but again, he is relentless with it. He goes after it pretty quickly. His top control is pretty decent, so if he can get you down, he can hold you down for a good amount of time. He's got really solid grappling as well, so he has a bit of a submission threat for sure if he is able to implement that grappling game. So official pick here, I'm actually going to go with Kevin Croom. I'm not super confident, but I'm definitely going to take Kevin Croom here. Reason being, I think the high pace, high pressure here and the volume he's going to throw is just going to kind of overwhelm Alateng, and it's going to end up getting him pretty favorable decision, if you will, in the judges' eyes. They'll see all that volume and they'll think highly of it, where Alateng may not throw that volume at all. If Alateng can work the wrestling in and hold Kevin Croom down for a majority of the fight, he'll probably win. But I think Croom will be good here to stay on the feet, or even implement his wrestling and grappling better and get the decision nod probably. So moving up the card, official pick, Kevin Croom. Moving up the card, we got Sam Hughes versus Istela Nunes. So Sam Hughes, she got decent technical striking, very little power, not much power at all, to be honest. Poor striking defense, though, on the other side of the striking side. Very, very hittable on the feet. Seems like she doesn't really have too much of high regard, comes in closing distance, leaving her chin out there to get clipped. Takedown defense isn't too great either, nor is the takedowns. Volume's just totally okay. It's nothing that blows you away. Not much grappling skills, to be honest. And I will say the one positive thing I've seen from her, she's pretty hard to control on the ground. So if you do take her down, it seems like she's able to get back up to her feet pretty quickly, work her way up. But yeah, I don't like a whole lot about Sam Hughes, to be honest. Istela Nunes, on the other hand, good movement, good technical striking, not much power in it as well. Works really well on the back foot, so if she's pressured, she can strike pretty good. And I believe Sam Hughes does put on that forward pressure pretty consistently as well. She got decent takedown defense. Grappling isn't really that great. So, that's definitely maybe an area that might be an edge to Sam Hughes here, but at the same time, Sam Hughes doesn't have much grappling skills to begin with either. Good hand speed for Istela Nunes. She's got good volume. She's got good striking defense as well. So I think a lot of the things here are in favor for Istela Nunes, and that's why she's going to be my official pick. I don't see Sam Hughes really having an edge anywhere. If anything, it's even in the grappling department, and neither of them were really good grapplers to begin with. So I really think Istela Nunes here is probably going to put on a clinic in Sam Hughes and kind of destroy her on the feet and pepper her up pretty good. So yeah, official pick going to be Istela Nunes. Moving up the feet, we got Trey Ogden versus Jordan Leavitt. So a fight between two pretty good grapplers here. Trey Ogden making his UFC debut, and Jordan Leavitt, this is about his third or fourth fight, I believe. But breaking down Trey Ogden, he's got decent striking, honestly. It's not too bad. Takedowns look pretty good, but sometimes they do seem to be a little bit sloppy. So not something you really want to see against going up against a really high-level grappler, because sloppy takedowns means guillotines. Great grappling, like I said, big sub-threat. A question mark would be his grappling defense, though. He has been submitted 3 times in his career. 3 out of his 4 losses have been by submissions. So obviously he has that good grappling game in terms of the offensive side, but the defensive side is a little suspect, I think. But we'll see how he holds up here against Jordan Leavitt on Saturday. Takedown defense seems pretty good from Ogden as well. Cardio seems good, and he's got good top control. So he's really able to hold people there with his jiu-jitsu and control position. Jordan Leavitt on the other side, high level grappling. I think he does have a better overall grappling game for sure, and he's definitely a big sub threat. His takedowns are decent. I don't think they're anything special. Sometimes he takes times them well, and that's really what he relies on to get the finish. But sometimes he doesn't either. So takedowns, yeah, just kind of decent. Takedown defense, not too great. He kind of almost invites the takedown because he'll happily let you take him down, pull guard, whatever he has to do. He just wants to grapple. That's all he wants to do. He doesn't really have good striking at all. It's really poor. All he really does is just kick from range. He's just really super happy to work off his back to try and do any grappling at all. So again, Trey Ogden here, I think he has the edge in the striking department. I think he has the edge in the wrestling department. But Jordan Leavitt, he's got the edge in the grappling department. But Ogden does have good grappling offensively. Defensively, a little bit suspect here. So Jordan Leavitt could be live here to get the win by submission, but I'm not totally sold. This one I didn't choose a winner yet. The only one I didn't choose a winner here and I have it marked down right now, so I'll make it on the spot. I'm going to trust Trey Ogden. I'm going to trust Trey Ogden to stay out of trouble against Jordan Leavitt here. He's going to have an advantage on the feet. If he probably just honestly keeps this one on the feet the whole time, which would be probably a pretty decent game plan, he's probably going to win because Jordan Leavitt doesn't have a good striking game whatsoever. But even if he does, like, maybe go for a takedown or whatever, or stuffs takedowns Leavitt, blah, blah, he just has to stay safe. He just has to know that. He can't do anything crazy on the ground or be too pushy to get submissions himself, because that's going to get him in some trouble. So I'm going to trust Trey Ogden here to get the decision nod. Just work on his striking, keep it on the feet a majority of the time. If he does to get to the ground, just be smart. We'll see what happens, though. Jordan Leavitt is definitely live for the sub. Betting-wise, I don't know if I would bet this one at all. I'll see what the odds are and stuff as the books open the lines and the prop bets a little more. But yeah, I'm going to go with Trey Ogden as official pick. Moving up the card, we got Chris Barnett versus Martin Buday. Chris Barnett, you'll probably know. He was on one of the pay-per-views recently. I forget which one it was, but essentially he had a spinning heel kick against John Villante and knocked him down and finished him with some ground and pound. Pretty impressive performance, especially from a big heavyweight guy like him. And he's kind of a short, pudgy heavyweight, so pretty impressive to see a guy like that do that. Chris Barnett, he's just got kind of decent striking, decent power, and he's just kind of a bit wild with everything. Again, he does have that like spinning heel kick that is crazy. He has those, I believe it's Taekwondo, those Taekwondo kicks and stuff like that. Cardio is not too great. He seems to definitely gas pretty heavily, especially if wrestling and grappling is involved. He will gas hard and heavy. Striking defense is not that great. He does get just hit a lot. And he has very little grappling skills if it does go to the mat. He's kind of a fish out of water down there, to be honest. Martin Buday, on the other hand, solid striking, good technical striking. Power's decent for heavyweight. Good clinch work. He's able to really have a lot of good clinch control time and works in a lot of good knees and uppercuts. Is that kind of plodding forward pressure kind of guy, always just slowly moving forward. And he's got pretty good cardio in his own right as well. I haven't seen much of his grappling or anything like that, or wrestling, to be honest. I think he mainly keeps it on the feet and works up against the cage for the clinch. But anyway, official prediction here going to be Martin Buday. I just think Chris Barnett is going to be open to being hit consistently. Martin Buday is going to put him against the fence, work in the clinch, tire Chris Barnett out, and potentially get him out of there. I may be looking at that knockout prop potentially for Martin Buday, but I do like Martin Buday in the spot overall. So official prediction going to be Martin Buday. Moving up the card, we got Rafa Garcia versus Jesse Ronson. Rafa Garcia here, decent technical striking, good power in his hands, though. He does show that although it's not the most technical, he's swinging hard. He's looking to hurt you for sure. Solid takedowns. He'll shoot a lot of attempts if he's successful early, but it seems like if he does get stuffed early on, he kind of almost abandons that game because he doesn't want to totally gas himself out with that, with going for those takedowns. Decent takedown defense. He's got good overall grappling, good offensive grappling, good defensive grappling. Solid cardio, slows in the third round, and he's got a really good chin. He's super tough. He's been clipped before and been able to survive, and even just eat big shots before I've seen him take. So he's got a really good chin, definitely hard to put away. Jesse Ronson, on the other hand, solid striking, decent technical, decent power, good counters, really good counters. That's kind of what he thrives on almost in the striking game. He's got good striking defense as well. Super kind of difficult to pinpoint and hit. Good grappling as well, as offensively and defensively as well, similar to Rafa Garcia. Takedowns are okay. He doesn't really shoot often, though. He mainly keeps it on the feet and strikes if he can. Takedown defense is a little bit of a question mark. We've seen him at least. This is his second stint in the UFC. His other stint was early in his career, back in 2014. He fought 3 really good fighters: Kevin Lee, Francisco Trinaldo, and another fighter who's also really good. I'm blanking on his name. And he had decent success with the takedown defense, but also did give up a good amount. It'll be, again, that was back in 2014 though. So this all could have improved pretty significantly. Although he did in 2019, he had a fight in the PFL, where somebody notched about 12 takedowns on him. So maybe it hasn't really improved whatsoever. So we'll really see in this fight to see where that takedown defense is. Good cardio also from Jesse Ronson. He can really put on a good high pace. Official prediction here, I'm going to go with Jesse Ronson. I think he has an edge in the striking in terms of technicality. I think he's better technical striking. He has good striking defense, so I think he's going to make Rafa Garcia miss a lot. He's going to hit on his counters. He has good grappling to nullify Rafa Garcia's offensive grappling attack. And I think he's going to come out with some solid takedown defense to stuff Garcia early and make him kind of weary of going for takedowns in the future. So yeah, official prediction here going to be Jesse Ronson. Moving up the card, we got Drakkar Klose versus Brandon Jenkins. So Drakkar Klose, solid technical striking, decent power, not too much power in his hands, but he's definitely hurt a couple guys before. Good volume he throws. He's got decent takedowns. He doesn't go for takedowns often, but he does have some decent success with those takedowns. Decent takedown defense as well. We've seen that's kind of been the path to victory for a lot of guys who fight Drakkar Klose. They try to take him down and use their submission skills to kind of try and get a submission or ground and pound finish, but it doesn't end up usually working out for them. Good submission defense. Drakkar Klose has been put in some very difficult spots. He's had his back taken multiple times by multiple guys. And he's been able to fight out of those positions and work his way back up to the feet, or at least survive to the end of the round. His grappling in general is just kind of okay. He's not much of a sub threat. He's more of a holding position when he's on top kind of guy, and just lays in some ground and pound, which is pretty solid as well. Good cardio as well. He's able to put on a really good pace. He throws in that good volume, and he can hold that up for a good 3 rounds. It's also hard to control on the ground. So like I was saying earlier, where people were taking his back, that wasn't happening very frequently. When people were getting the takedowns on him, most of the times I would say he would be getting back up to his feet more often than not. Brandon Jenkins, on the other hand, decent striking. He really mainly relies on just some big explosive attacks. Flying knees, spinning back fists, stuff like that. Takedown defense isn't really great. He's been able, his last fight we saw him just kind of get ragdolled in the wrestling game pretty easily. He's also pretty hittable on the feet. Striking defense ain't too great. He's not great on the ground either, or on his back. He just kind of really struggles to get back up to his feet, or even protect himself, I guess, if you will. Protect himself from submissions or get out of bad spots. And yeah, like I said, striking defense, just okay. So yeah, Fisher, I think this is a bounce back spot for Drakkar Klose. He hasn't fought in over 2 years, which is a little bit of a concern. due to, I believe, a couple withdrawals from fights and then eventually getting an injury. I don't know how significant the injury was, to be honest, but I still like Drakkar Klose here in a bounce back spot. I don't think Brendan Jenkins is UFC material, in my opinion. So official pick going to be Drakkar Klose. Next fight on the card, we got Lina Lansberg versus Pannie Kianzad. There we go. Lina Lansberg, she got good striking. She's pretty accurate with her striking as well. Decent takedowns with good top control, good ground and pound. She got decent grappling, but again, she's not much of a sub threat like some other guys have said are on the card already, like Drakkar Klose. She's more of a holding position type grappler, if you will. Takedown defense is just okay, and striking defense is just okay. She's proven that she's pretty hittable and on the feet. Pannie Kianzad, on the other hand, she's got great volume, good technical striking, good clinch work, good takedown defense. She's really hard to control on the ground if you do get her on the ground. Decent striking defense. She's a bit hittable, but at the same time, I think her striking defense in comparison with Lansberg is much better. Great cardio, takedowns are just okay, but she really doesn't shoot that often. She doesn't really rely on her wrestling. She is more of a stand-up fighter, and she's going to fight with you and brawl. So yeah, official prediction here is Pannie Kianzad. I think it's going to be a little bit close of a fight, but I think what's going to push it over the edge is Kianzad's volume and pressure is just going to be too much for Lansberg to handle. If Lansberg can get her takedowns, she might be able to win. But again, Kianzad has really good takedown defense. I think she can be able to keep it on the feet. I think her volume is going to be too much for Lansberg, and she's going to piece her out for over 3 rounds. So official prediction going to be Pannie Kianzad. Moving up the card, we got Devin Clark versus William Knight. So start with Devin Clark. Decent technical striking, decent power on top of that as well. It's not anything crazy, but it's pretty solid. He's super tough, super durable guy. He's been put in some bad spots before and has not been finished. Last fight against Ion Cutelaba, dude, I believe bashed his teeth in, and he was still fighting. He was put in a couple bad spots against Alonzo Menafield, and he was able to recover and come back and win that fight. So very tough guy, Devin Clark is, to be able to withstand some of the punishment he takes and then come back and potentially even win the fight in some areas, at least some specific bouts. Striking defense, just okay. He's proven that he's hittable on the feet and he can struggle with guys who have some good power. Takedowns are okay to good, I put. They're somewhere in between that range. I honestly wouldn't say they're anything amazing because he hasn't had, good success against. He hasn't had good success against guys who have good takedown defense, but he has had good success against guys who have bad takedown defense. So, where do we put that in terms of him being able to get takedowns? I don't know. He has decent top control and very little grappling skills when he is on the ground. Not really a sub threat at all. He's mainly just holding position, looking to get in that dominant position to where he can ground and pound you away. William Knight, on the other hand, this dude's got power. This dude is built like a tank. He is all just a big ball of muscle, essentially. Big, strong guy. Really good chin. This dude can just take all the shots and all the punishment you could throw at him, and he will not go down. Really open the counters, though. Decent takedowns, and he's got some heavy ground and pound if he can get you down, but he doesn't necessarily have the best top control. He's open to jabs all day, poor striking defense. He does have pretty good fight IQ. In a sense, he has good fight IQ. He knows when he has to do certain things, like get up from being down or whatever. He can finish people late as well. He's got that power that can carry. Yeah, I just don't trust William Knight. I just don't think he has really much technical striking at all, both offensively and defensively. I think Devin Clark can definitely pepper him up on the feet and be safe. He just has to avoid the big power shots, and he'll be fine. Devin Clark could even mix in the wrestling. William Knight might even mix in the wrestling as well. But Devin Clark is pretty decent at getting back to his feet. So yeah, official prediction here is going to be Devin Clark. I think he's got the edge on the feet in terms of the technicality. He's got to avoid those big power shots from William Knight. And he should be all right in this one. If he wants to go to the ground and wrestle a little bit, he may be able to get Knight down. Knight doesn't have the best takedown defense, but Knight is hard to control on the ground. So he can, get him to the ground. It looks good in the judge's eyes. To secure some top control, some takedowns, and win some rounds. So yeah, official prediction going to be Devin Clark. Moving up the card. This one must have just been added to the card because I do not have anything on this. Yeah, this was literally just added before I did all my research. So I'm going to skip this one. I'll make a separate video later today or tomorrow, and we'll go over this one separately. If I could get to the... Really? All right. Moving up the card, we got Pat Sabatini versus TJ Laramie. TJ Laramie. Pat Sabatini, super high-level grappler, big submission threat, good transitions, good top control, great cardio as well. He can put on a really good high-level pace, good wrestling as well to pair with that high-level grappling. Tough and durable guy. He's been clipped before in some fights. He's been able to recover and get his way into a victory. Decent striking. I wouldn't say the striking is all too amazing, but he does have some finishes on his resume via strikes. Good takedowns. His takedown defense is a little questionable, though. People just don't shoot on him. You got high-level grappling. People aren't really going to be eager to go there. So that hasn't really been tested so far. But again, he does have really good – he wrestled in college. So we have to assume his takedown defense is at least okay. It's not trash, So I'm interested to see what Laramie does here because I think he is going to engage in the wrestling for sure. TJ Laramie, on the other hand, like I said, good wrestling. Striking is decent power to go along with that. He's got good top control. His takedowns are pretty solid. So if he does get those takedowns and gets in a decent position, he can hold you down there for a majority of the fight. And he's done that in his previous fights before. He's got little to no submission threat, though. He's not much of a submission guy. He's more of a top control, hold you down, slowly chip you away kind of guy. And that's pretty much all I had on TJ Laramie. But official prediction here going to be Pat Sabatini. I just think the high-level grappling is really going to be a problem for Laramie. Even if Laramie engages in the wrestling, gets the takedowns he wants, Pat Sabatini is good on his back in terms of the wrestling. He's going to throw up submissions. He's going to make Laramie think and work and potentially put him in some bad spots. So yeah, I just like Sabatini here, whether it's going to go to the ground and Sabatini is just going to have the instant advantage in the grappling department big time, and Laramie is going to be in for trouble. Laramie may want to keep this one on the feet the whole time, but I think he's going to want to engage in that wrestling, and I think it's going to be a problem for him. So yeah, official predict going to be Pat Sabatini. Moving up the card, we got Mayra Bueno Silva versus Yanan Wu. Mayra Bueno Silva, she's got good technical striking with power. We don't see too many female fighters with some big power and behind their punches, but Bueno Silva, she's got some big oomph behind her punches. Really strong girl too. Solid takedown defense, really hard to take down. Really good grappling skills. She's a big sub threat. She She got an armbar off Jillian Robertson, so that just kind of shows you how good her grappling skills are. She's got heavy ground and pound. She doesn't really shoot takedowns. She just kind of keeps it on the feet, and then if you want to engage in the wrestling, she will allow that. And if she gets taken down, she'll work off her back, or she'll scramble to try to somehow get on top from your takedown. Good cardio, good volume, and good striking defense as well. I think she's really well rounded here. Yanan Wu, on the other hand, she throws good volume, decent technical striking. Accuracy is just okay, and she got little power. Takedowns are okay, grappling's okay. She tends to put herself in a lot of bad positions, and when she does go to the ground, she's hittable on the feet. She does have some submission skills, and she does go for submissions at times, but I don't think that's going to be available here for her, to be honest. Official prediction here going to be Mayra Bueno Silva. I just think she essentially has an edge everywhere, and she's going to put on a beating on Yanan Wu. Moving up the card, we got Andre Fialho versus Miguel Baeza. So Miguel Baeza, good technical striking for sure. He throws heavy and frequent leg kicks, good power. Takedowns are all right. He doesn't shoot often, but he does have decent takedowns in wrestling that he can fall back on if he wants to. Decent grappling as well. He does have some submission skills. Good takedown defense. He's got a quick sprawl and really heavy hips that throws back them really quick. Tough to secure a takedown on. Miguel Baeza, really tough, durable guy. He's been clipped before. He's been able to cover before, but chin is maybe a little bit questionable. He's been finished by Cass Williams, but again, I mean, Cass Williams has some of the best power in the division, so how much weight can you really hold to that? I don't know. So chin is a little bit questionable, I guess, but at the same time, he can take some big shots. He took big shots from Cass Williams until getting finished. Earlier in the fight, he took big shots from Santiago Ponzinibbio, who also has huge power for the division. He can take those big shots and sometimes eat them and be fine, or get a little bit of shook but recover. Good cardio as well, but definitely does slow down in the third. Andre Fialho, on the other hand, this guy packs punch. He's got some power for sure. Good takedown defense. Patient with his striking for sure. A bit of a low volume fighter, if you will. Kind of patiently stalks his opponent until he can find that power punch that he wants. Puts on that pressure, that plotting forward pressure. He works good in the clinch. Solid striking defense. Good chin on him as well. Gas tank is a little bit questionable, although I believe he did come on short notice his last fight, and his gas tank was a little questionable. Same thing's happening here, where he is also coming on short notice. Okay striking accuracy. It seems like he does kind of miss a lot at times. And then a big thing is it doesn't seem like he checks his leg kicks, which is going to be a huge problem here because Miguel Baeza, like I said, is heavy and frequent leg kicks. So if Andre Fialho is not going to check those leg kicks, he is in for a hurting. He has a little bit of time to potentially learn that if they haven't done it since his last fight and worked on that. But I'd assume ever since probably accepting this fight, his team has been working on those leg kicks and showing him how to check those, because that's going to be a big problem if Miguel Baeza is going to be chipping away at that leg all day and he's not checking them. Official pick going to be Miguel Baeza. Again, I think those leg kicks are going to come into big question here. He's got the technical striking edge for sure. It's going to stay on the feet pretty much the whole fight. And Miguel Baeza is going to outclass Fialho for sure and avoid those big power shots when he needs to. If he gets clipped as well, I think he's going to be able to recover from a shot from Fialho. I don't think he has the same power. I don't think he's on the same level of power as Cass Williams. Official prediction going to be Miguel Baeza. Moving on to the co-main event, we got Kaya Borala versus Gadzi Omar Gadziev. So both these guys are coming off the Contender Series with a lot of hype for sure. One's a striker, one's a wrestler slash grappler. So yeah, Kai Borrello, he's the striker. He's got solid technical striking, decent power. He's got that karate-like stance with his hands down, like kind of bouncing back and forth. He maintains distance very well. He has good striking defense, good takedowns as well, good takedown defense. He's got decent grappling as well. You know, he's no schlub. He had a grappling match against Gelton Almeida and didn't get submitted. And Almeida is a very good grappler in his own right. He's got a huge reach advantage here, which is something to point out. He's got an 8-inch reach advantage, which is really significant. Good cardio, but he does definitely slow down in the third. On the other hand, we got Omar Gadziev. This is our wrestler. Really good wrestling, well-timed takedowns, great top control. He's really able to hold you down for a majority of the fight if he does get the takedown and secure it. Decent on the feet. He's nothing special, but he's got decent power. Not much technicality behind it, though. He's definitely a sub-threat. He's able to transition into bad spots potentially. He's got good ground and pound. He's got good cardio. So yeah, this is a really close fight. It's kind of back and forth on this one a little bit, and I might be back and forth again. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go with Kai Borrello. I think the huge reach advantage is going to play a big factor here. I think he's going to maintain his distance well, and he's going to know the takedowns are coming. I think he's going to kind of piece up Gadzi over these 3 rounds. I mean, Gadziev may get a takedown, but I don't think he's going to be able to get a finish on him. So yeah, I just like that huge reach advantage, and Borrello able to maintain distance well here to really play a big factor, and it may play trouble for Omar Gadziev to get those takedowns. And Borrello, at the same time, he's got good takedown defense. He's a big, strong guy, and he's got decent grappling in his own right to maybe get back up to his feet. So yeah, official prediction, Caio Borrello. And moving up the card, we got Vincent Luque versus Bilal Muhammad, the main event, a really good one here, and also a rematch. These guys fought a while back, and Luque won pretty convincingly in the first round via knockout, and it was a knockout, knocked him out cold. Luque, high pace, volume fighter, good power, good striking / technical, good striking and good accuracy in his striking. He's also got good grappling. He's got submission threat. He likes a lot of like Darce and Anaconda chokes. He's tough, durable, really great chin. He has been rocked before, but he's been able to recover. Good takedowns, but doesn't wrestle often himself. Generally, he likes to keep it on the feet. He's got great counters in the striking game, good takedowns. I already said that. Hard to control on the ground as well. So if you do get him down, he is a good ability to get back to up to the feet, and he's got good cardio. Bilal Muhammad, on the other hand, he's got great cardio and high fight IQ. He always comes in with a really good game plan against each fighter and essentially puts that game plan to work very well. He's essentially a good point fighter. A lot of decision victories he does get, not a lot of finishes. Good volume he throws. He's got decent takedowns. I don't think they're anything great, to be honest. And he's got decent top control. Striking is decent. Decent technicality and accuracy. He's got great takedown defense. And that's it. I'm not too high on Muhammad. I mean, I just think he has had some very favorable matchups with guys who have some glaring holes in their game. For someone like Muhammad, who is decently well-rounded, he can attack that one area that isn't very highly touted or that, that hole in the game, and he can win the fight. in this fight, Luque doesn't have really any holes, and I think Muhammad is going to struggle with that. Luque is a huge advantage on the feet. He's got the reach advantage as well. Muhammad is going to try and wrestle, take this one to the ground. Luque knows that. He has good takedown defense. He has a good get-up game if he does get taken down. And on top of that, he has good grappling as well. So it's not like Muhammad is taking down Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and can just sit on him because Thompson's not going to do anything. But Luque can threaten with submissions against Muhammad if he does get him down. He can also get back up to his feet, and he can just piece up Muhammad on the feet. I'm very confident in this prediction. Official prediction going to be Vincent Luque. I already threw 2 units on him. If you don't follow me already on Twitter, I throw early predictions on there. Mustache_MMA on Twitter. I already threw 2 units on Vincent Luque. I already beat the line on that a little bit as well. Got it at -160. So yeah, that is pretty much it with this card. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Appreciate you for sure. If you liked, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. And leave any comments down below on who you have in this fight. If you agree or disagree with me or whatever. And geez, I have my little hair there popping out. Doesn't look too great. Anyway, that's pretty much it. My 2 other videos coming out later today. Or no, wait, later this week. Best bets and parlay plays. They will be going more into the books and the betting perspective on this card, and we'll try to cash in some good money for you guys. So yeah, thanks a lot, guys, and I will see you later. Peace out.